say you're on a trail ride. The terrain is really hilly and rocky, and if your horse moves either way, it will fall. Your guide is getting a little farther away from you, and you should have stayed closer to your guide. Your horse is kind of spooky on this trail, and you can't shout, "Wait up." And then it gets worse. Your saddle starts to slip. You have no idea how to saddle. This could be a life or death situation, and it's very important that you should know how to saddle a horse. You should always be prepared for anything that could go wrong, and this is why we're covering the basics of saddling, different types of saddles, and different parts of saddles. Okay. This is just a regular saddle. This shows all of the main lots of parts. Just like this saddle, it has a cinch or a girth. It has the seat and the cantle. This is very important too. The stirrups can be adjusted to your leg length right underneath. You take that off and then you adjust it. And this is the horn, where you can grab onto it if your horse decides to buck, or if you're slipping yourself, and just a safety tool thing. This is a bridle. This will go in the horse's mouth, and this is the chin strap, just to keep it on, and these are the reins. Now we're going to go over saddles. This is a barrel saddle. It's called a Lanny Cell by Circle P. I actually own one of these. They weigh around 22 pounds, and the stirrups and horn are made out of rawhide. This is a show saddle. It's a Champion Turf. This saddle is a little heavier because it's made out of leather. They'll weigh around 40 pounds. It's a very decorative saddle. We can't really see, but there's tons of designs all over it, and it's plated with silver to look nice for your judges. This is a trail, a double J. There's many different types of trails, but this one looks the nicest. Its seat is a little flatter than the show saddle, and the horn is shorter because you really don't need it in the competitive trail riding. This is a Billy Cook. This is a ranching saddle used for rounding cattle, catching cattle, and horses. This is a very heavy saddle. These can weigh around 50 pounds. And the horn, if you notice, it's thicker. And that's so it doesn't snap off if you're catching cattle or anything. This is a reining saddle, a Circle Y. This brand is the Circle Y, but it's called For Luck. And the seating is like a gelish kind for when your horse is going around in really tight circles, like you don't hit the back, and it feels nicer. It's also a heavier saddle. This is a cutting saddle. This is actually custom made. You can have custom made saddles for you. And the mantle is really, really high so you don't fall out. And the horn is also high so you can really grip that when your horse is chasing the cattle. And this is my horse. We are actually riding in the Lanny Cell, and she has the breast collar and the bridle, and she also has a tie down to keep her head from jerking up when she's going around the barrels. And the last part is how to saddle. It's actually pretty simple. The horse, you put it on the left side. You should always go to the left side. It's just something people have done for a really long time. The saddle pad will go on the wither, is where the horse's hair stops, the mane. You'll put the bridle in, and you just put it over the horse, and then you make sure the bit's in the mouth, and you just put the 2 ears in, and you loosely have this. You don't want to choke your horse. The next part is you'll reach under your horse. Let's pretend this is a horse's belly. I generally put mine up there so it doesn't get in my way. And you don't want it too tight, because in rare cases it can suffocate a horse, and I've seen a horse die. My trainer was showing it to me on YouTube, and it was really upsetting. You'll want to put your hand through, and it doesn't need to be too loose, or your saddle will fall, and that won't be good. You rarely ever use that. And the last part, you just take it through that, under this, and pull down. And there. I know how to saddle a horse. You also know how different types of Western saddles work, and you know the main parts of them. And hopefully my intro will never happen to you, and if you're riding a horse, now you know how to do everything.